everybody, welcome to General Hospital MV, my GH after show. Let's cut right into it. Alright, so at the end of last week we saw Valentine go into Madeline's visiting cell to confront her about something. I predicted that it had something to do with Nina's child being alive, and it looks like I may or may not be correct. Now I say may or may not because Madeline is a master manipulator, but so is Valentine, so who knows just how much they're playing each other. Now if I were to guess, I would say that Nina's baby is in fact alive. I knew that this was definitely a possibility since Nina's been around, and that it was just a matter of time before we'd see the story come to light. Now on the one hand, I really love the character of Nina and I really want her to have a child. I mean, no one is more deserving at this point. On the other hand, I'm not a fan of the fact that this is obviously a way to shoehorn Nina and Valentine back together because of course she's going to be forever grateful to bringing back her child to her. So as the story goes, Nina in fact did give birth to a child and Madeline gave that child up for adoption but did it anonymously so that no one would have to see each other. She tried to use that fact to get her out of jail sooner to help Valentine track the baby down because, you know, he wouldn't be able to without her. But Valentine was like, nah man, I'm gonna get Curtis on the job. For Nina's sake, I hope that they do find the baby. Also for Nina's sake, I hope they do it without Madeline. Alright, moving on, let's talk about Peter because he apparently bought The Invader, which apparently is a magazine that just gossips about the townspeople of Port Charles. Peter wants to make it more respectable and he tries to get Maxie to go on board, which does not work. And then he tries to get Lulu on board, but that doesn't work until the paper that she works for is like, you're going down to be demoted into fluffy stories. And then Lulu quickly changed her mind and said yes. Obviously Maxie's not too happy about it, and neither am I for that matter. Lulu, I miss when you had a brain. Also, why is this story even happening in the first place? Like, shouldn't you be helping Robert Scorpio find patients 1 through 5? What happened to that? Oy! I guess his first way of turning around the magazine is by posting a picture of Margot and Drew kissing. I am even more in confusion now. What are you doing? Alright, but let's talk about Margot and Drew for a second because they are playing an interesting game of cat and mouse where I can't even tell who the cat is and who the mouse is. I think they're both cats that see each other as mice, okay? Now personally, I see Margot is clearly trying to use Drew to help take Sunny and Jason down. But Drew is smart enough to realize that that's probably what she's doing too. However, Drew and Margot seem to have actual feelings in there, which is super weird, but whatever. Let's not forget about the fact that Margot actually has a USB with Drew's memories on it, and when he finds out about it, he ain't gonna be too happy with her. It looked like at the end of the week that he may have actually discovered the USB, but will he see what's on it? I guess time will tell. Either way, Carly and Jason are keeping a good eye on Drew and Margot, and by the way, Laura Wright looks insanely gorgeous lately. Are you guys noticing this? Oh my god! Alright, now let's talk the baby drama. Alright, so this week, Brad confessed to Julian that the baby that he and Lucas has is not the birth mother's original baby, but that of a homeless woman that he found on a street. So he didn't tell him the full truth. Brad desperately wants Julian to figure out a way for them to keep the baby, and it looks like he's trying to get in contact with the original birth mom. So let's see what happens on that note. It looks like even though the Jeromes are out of the mob, they are still causing trouble for people. It looks like Griffin Monroe figured out not one, but two things about the other Jerome, Ava Jerome. One being the fact that she was the one that turned him in for the whole DNA testing against Peter, and two, the fact that she held on to the baby blanket for Nell. I guess little Leo saw Julian plant the blanket back into the house. Eagle eye, that little boy. But you know what? I feel like Griffin's not gonna do a damn thing about it, you know? His moral compass might keep his mouth shut. Ooh, let's talk about Kiki Jerome though, because she is back at work at the hospital, but so is Dr. Bensch, and that's kind of annoying until he gets fired, and he is pissed. He says he's gonna sue the hospital for all it's worth and bring the hospital to its knees, but I have a feeling he's gonna go on more of a psychotic rampage if you catch my drift. I'm getting Warren Bauer vibes, you guys. He shot up the hospital after his son Kiefer died, tried to blame Christina because she was abused by his son. Whoa boy. Alright, but back to babies. Let's talk about Jonah's funeral, even though it's not really Jonah, but Michael thinks so and so does the whole family. The funeral was very heartbreaking. All the actors did an incredible job with it. Can I just say that Etta McCoy, Jocelyn, is such a gem on the show. I absolutely adore her. This funeral also brought back memories for Jason and Sam because their original daughter, Lila, was stillborn, and so, you know, it's dredging up memories. They had a flashback and everything. I'm glad that they acknowledged it after all these years because it was such a pivotal moment for both the characters of Jason and Sam. Michael, of course, buried who he believes is Jonah next to his brother Morgan and told Morgan to watch over him. Alright, moving on. Let's talk about Franco and Elizabeth's kids. Elizabeth sends Franco on a mission to do some back-to-school shopping with the boys, and he gets a lot more than he bargained for. Little Aiden wanted some princess school supplies, and Cameron was like, no, you're gonna get bullied, and Aiden ran away. My favorite part about this though is that when Franco went to go confront Cameron about this, Cameron just threw all of Franco's past transgressions into his face, and I bloody lived for it! It is the moment I have been waiting for since they actually recast Cameron, and Sora asked him, like, I'm living. I am living. More of this, please. So now let's get into some stories that are really piquing my interest. Finn and Anna, which I know I've said I'm not really interested in the storyline, but that is until what happened at the end of the week. So Finn and Anna brought Cassandra out of her coma, and Cassandra actually was willing to help them after they threatened to like put her back into the coma. Finn and Anna managed to drug their captors and escape, and then they ran into Robert and Chase, who have rescued them, kinda sorta, I guess. They showed up, that's all that matters. When they got back to Cassandra's room, Cassandra was gone, and she was in a car being held hostage by someone who appears to be a Cassadine. I suppose it could be someone that just works for the Cassadine, but the fact that he was wearing a Cassadine ring with the crest on it made me think that it was an actual Cassadine themselves. Except we know it's not Valentine. Stefan, is that you? I'd actually be super okay with this, even though the way that he died seemed pretty freaking final. Like, Luke stabbed him and threw him over a cliff, and we saw him dead at the bottom of the cliff. So, you know, kind of impossible. But maybe he was one of the patients, 1 through 5, I don't know. The amount of times the Cassadines have come back alive after dying on screen over the years is, you know, ridiculous. So why not him? He's the only one that hasn't yet, I think. Plus we know that the original actor is no longer working on the previous soap opera he was on, so it is a possibility. Do you guys want Stefan Cassadine back? Let me know in the comments below. Now let's talk about Mike and his Alzheimer's. So this is the storyline that's been going on for a while now, and it's a touching story. Maurice and Max, who play Sonny and Mike, have been killing the game for the whole storyline. And at the end of this week, Mike's Alzheimer's seemed to get a lot worse. He accidentally triggered an alarm in the house, and that sent Mike into an absolute panic, and it didn't help that Sonny, Jason, and a bodyguard all pointed their guns at him. Man, if this doesn't convince Sonny to put Mike in a home soon, then nothing will. The storyline is so tragic, but so good as well. It doesn't even need the stupidity of Mike taking a body and putting it under Julian's bar. It's so unnecessary. This story can stand on its own, you guys. I don't care about the body under the basement. That's a storyline they could drop and I'd be totally okay with it, not gonna lie. Last but not least, let's talk about Kevin and Ryan. So, we saw that it was Kevin's birthday this week, and Lucy wished him a happy birthday. Lucy's back on screen too, yes! But at the same time, there is some confusion as to who is who. We're not actually sure if Kevin is Kevin and Ryan is Ryan. They are making Kevin out to be a little bit creepy lately, but at the same time, Ryan could easily be in Ferncliff pretending to be Kevin and trapped, you know? It is something Ryan would do. He has pretended to be Kevin before. I am excited to see the storyline play out one way or the other. I don't really care who's who at this point. Like, it's a cool mystery. I am kind of hoping that it is Ryan in Ferncliff though, because with Kevin, it'll be like this whole spider web of a mess of trying to explain when they swapped out, how long Kevin has been in Ferncliff, and like, I'm not ready for that. I just want to see why Ryan is in Ferncliff and what he's been up to after all these years. Besides, if anyone can figure out who is who, it's definitely Lucy Coe. Side note, if you don't bring Felicia in on this storyline, then you have failed miserably, GH. You can't bring Ryan back and not have Felicia involved in this story. If y'all are new to GH, YouTube it. I ask the audience again, who do you think is who? Is Kevin Kevin? Is Ryan Ryan? Is Ryan Kevin? Is Kevin Ryan? Let me know in the comments below. Alright, so obviously I enjoyed GH this week. It was pretty good, I have to admit that. These stories can go anywhere at this point. It's new beginnings, and I'm excited to see where they go. Just don't mess it up. Alright, now before I let you guys go, let's talk about some behind the scenes General Hospital news. Kelly Monaco has just had hip surgery. I guess for the last 10 years, Kelly has had a torn labrum in her hip, and she's finally getting the surgery for it so she can finally heal fully. I wish you a speedy recovery, Kelly Monaco. Now, before I let you guys completely go, one more thing. I am doing a GH Top 10 in the honor of Maurice Bernard and his 25 years as Sonny Corinthos. So you tell me what clips you want to see in that list, and I will put them on there. Let me know in the comments below or on my Tumblr page, wherever you want to put it. Just track me down and tell me what you want to see. Alright, and on that note, if you like this video, give it a big old thumbs up and subscribe if you want to. I do these videos every Sunday, and I will catch you guys next week.